ولا يصفه الواصفون ولا تغيره الحوادث ولا يخشى الثوائر يعلم مثاقيل الجبال ومكائيل البحار وعدد قطر الأمطار وعدد ورق الأشجار وعدد ما أظلم عليه الليل وما أشرق عليه النهار ولا تواري منه سماء سماء ولا أرض أرضا الحلال ما أحللت حرام ما شرعت والأمر ما قضيت الخلق خلقك والعبد عبدك وأنت الله الرؤوف الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على حبيبه ونبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الذي ليس في جوفه شيء من القرآن كالبيت الخرب، أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, before I begin, inshallah, today the class will be a little different. So, while I am speaking, those brothers and sisters, if they have any questions or if they have any opinions or if they have any suggestions, they can unmute themselves by pressing *6. And inshallah, after this, everyone will be able to hear you. And while I will be talking, inshallah, I will ask questions as well. So for those brothers and sisters who would like to answer the question, if they can press once again, *6, and inshallah, they will be able to answer. Now, for the past few days, alhamdulillah, we spoke about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that a person should have, the love of Allah ta'ala that a child should have, the love of Allah ta'ala that a mother, that a human being should have. Thereafter, we also spoke about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and this is something that every person, whether it be male, female, child, an adult, a teenager, this is something that we have to build. As I spoke earlier, there are two types of love, hubbi aqli and hubbi tabi'i. One is natural love, and that is the love that a person has for his relatives, for his parents. The other is hubbi aqli. Hubbi aqli is, the first is hubbi tabi'i, natural love. The second is hubbi aqli. Love, that inborn love that you have to have for someone. So this is the love that we, inshallah, have to have for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Similarly with Quran as well. If we have Quran on our shelves, if we have Quran on our phones, on our tablets, the love of Quran will not come into our hearts. We have to make that effort. We have to read Quran. Then, inshallah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love of Quran will come into our hearts. Now, coming back to our topic, inshallah, today we will cover, and these are the few things that we will cover today, inshallah. We will cover Surah Fatiha. We will also cover a few incidents that have taken place in Surah Baqarah, and the few things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in Surah Baqarah. Now, before we move on to Surah Fatiha, we have to understand Makki and Madani surahs. Now, there's one concept that people have, and it's sad to say this is a wrong concept that some of us have. We say that a Makki surah is a surah in which the ayahs were revealed in Makkah. A Madani surah is a surah in which all the ayahs were revealed in Medina. No, this is the wrong concept we have. Makki surahs are those surahs that were revealed before Hijrah, before migration. Because there were ayahs that were revealed in Arafah. There were ayahs, and Arafah is outside of Makkah. There were ayahs that were revealed during Mi'raj, during ascension, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ascended towards the skies. And these ayahs, they were revealed outside of Makkah. and some ayahs were revealed in Mina as well. So to say that all the ayahs that were revealed in Mecca are Makki ayahs, and the ayahs that were revealed in Medina are Madani ayahs, that is wrong, that is false. And majority, we have to take migration into consideration. If the ayahs were revealed before migration, then the surah is called a Makki surah. If the ayahs were revealed after migration to Medina, then those surahs are called Madani surahs. Now, most of the ayahs of, let's for instance, a Makki surah were revealed in Mecca, but some were revealed in Medina. So majority over minority, this will be considered as a Makki surah. There were a few ayahs that were revealed in Medina, but so few of them, nearly 4 of them, were revealed in Mecca when Rasulullah ﷺ came to perform Hajj. So this is one concept that we have to understand. And some surahs now were revealed entirely in Mecca. So some, what we have to understand is some were revealed partially in Mecca. The other portion of the surah was revealed in Medina. Some of the portion of the surah, some few ayahs were revealed in Medina. The rest were revealed in Mecca. Now, some surahs were revealed entirely in Mecca, the likes of Surah Muddathir, and some were revealed entirely in Medina, the likes of Al-Imran. Now, moving forward. Quran ayahs are of 2 types. The first type is a Quran ayah, when Quran ayah was revealed. And their revelation was not due to any incident or situation that had taken place. Now, the second type of Quran ayahs are those ayahs that were revealed after an incident had taken place, or after something had happened. For instance, the ayahs of Tayammum were revealed after the incident, as we all know, with Aisha radiallahu anha, the incident of Aisha radiallahu anha and how she had lost her necklace. So after this incident, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayahs of Tayammum. Something else had happened, and thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an incident had taken place. Thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayah of Surah Lahab. Now, moving on, furthermore, we have to understand, now alhamdulillah, we understand what Makki surahs are, what Madani surahs are. The Quran ayahs are of 2 types. Now we have to understand a ruku'. Now this is, if we open our Qurans, we will find in the ayn. And that signifies a ruku', which means now this ruku' has finished and the next ruku' is about to start. And every juz has nearly 15 to 16 rukus. Some may have 15, some may have 14. But every juz has ruku'. And now what is the purpose of having a ruku'? The purpose of having a ruku' is this mark has been placed to let us know, to let the reader know that a new discussion, a new topic is about to start. For instance, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk about the people of Jannah in one ruku'. And then we will find an ayn there. Now a new discussion will start. For instance, in Surah Baqarah, inshallah, when we will read today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in one ruku', He will talk about the incident of Adam alayhi salam, the creation of Adam alayhi salam, and what had taken place between Adam alayhi salam and Shaitan. Thereafter, we will find an ayn, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk about Bani Israel. And that's a new topic now. So the purpose of the ruku' once again is to let us know, to let the readers know that a new discussion is about to start and a new topic is about to start. Now, when we read Quran today, we find a lot of letters in between. We find letters like Ba, Jim, Qaf, Satta, and many other letters. So inshallah, today we'll also do the meaning of these letters. When we see the letter Ba in Quran, and this is something that's very important. If dear respected brothers and sisters, if you wish to write this down, please write this down as well, because most people who read Quran, they actually don't know this. We have to understand Quran is a language in itself. Quran is an epic. For instance, in English, if a person is talking, and we know in English we have commas, we have apostrophe, we have periods. Similarly, these signify period, commas, and apostrophes in Quran as well. And it would not make sense for us, a person, to say, I am, for example, I am going over there and I will come back, thereafter I will go there without pausing, without having any commas, without having any breaks. Similarly, when we read Quran as well, these are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also have to be very careful that whenever we need to stop, wherever we need to stop, wherever the sentence finishes, we should stop there. Now, ba means waqf mutlaq. But when we see the letter ba, it means waqf mutlaq. The sentence has finished here. It is better for us to stop. It is better for the reader to stop. When we see the letter jim, jim means waqf jaiz. You are allowed to stop here, and you are allowed to do waqf here. Jim. And there is no harm in you stopping here. When we see the letter za, it is jaiz for you to stop here, but it is better for you to continue. Meaning, when we see the letter za, it's okay if you stop here, but it's better for you to continue. When we see the letter sad in Quran, the sentence is quite long, and we can take this as a comma. That's what the letter sad signifies. That the sentence right here, and we can take this as a comma. If you run out of breath, you may stop here. Now, when we see the letter mim, if waqf is not done here, a person can make a major mistake. Now, this is something that is very serious, and we truly have to take care of this. When we see the letter mim, if waqf is not done here, a person can make a major mistake in Quran while reading Quran. It is preferable to do waqf here. Some have even said to this point that this mim is wajib, meaning that it is wajib, it is mandatory, it is compulsory for a person to stop here when he's reading. Now, when we see the letter lam alif, this does not mean don't stop here. There are a few places in Quran where there is no harm in stopping here. It is better to continue. And now, if a person wishes to stop here, for instance, he is reading, he sees lam alif, and a person wishes to stop here, it is better for him to start again and then move on to the next ayah or the next letter or the next word. He should not stop at lam alif and then move on to the next word. So if when we are reading Quran, when we see lam alif, it is better for us to continue. We should not stop there. And even if you want to stop there, then it is better for you to recite the ayah again or go back a little and then start. Don't move on to the next word. Now, when we see sakta, this means a person should stop. A person should pause for some time, for a little bit, without breaking his breath. Now, because when you break your breath, it's basically a period. You're breaking the ayah. So, a sakta is where you should stop. And these things, inshallah, you will find in the Quran when we read. But you should not break your breath. Waqfa. Waqfa is the same thing as sakta. A person should stop here without breaking his breath. But this pause, this stop right here, should be longer than a sakta. So waqfa should be longer than sakta. When we see the letter qaf, according to some, there is waqf here, and to others, there is no waqf here. When we see sad, lam, and ya, which means al-wasl, this means it is better for us to join. And when we see waqf al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, through narrations, we do find that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did waqf here. And it is also better for us to do waqf here, and as well as it is sunnah as well to do waqf here. When we see waqf al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now we will move on to Surah Fatiha. Surah Fatiha is the first complete surah to be revealed. It is the first complete surah to be revealed. Thereafter, the reason why Surah Fatiha was placed in the beginning of Quran, because a person can truly realize and acknowledge the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His qualities. Like I said before, for instance, a person who does not have any care for the cook. He does not have any care for the cook. Now, do you think when the cook prepares a meal, when he prepares some food, the person eating that food, will he have true love and care for that food? He won't. Because in his mind, he would think, no, it's coming from him. It's coming from a person who I don't like. And so the Quran, when we read Quran, Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before we can truly understand the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to understand where this kalam is coming from. Because, for instance, today, when you look at a person, when you look at a speaker, when you look at your friend, when you look at your brother, if you don't have respect for the brother, if you don't have respect for the speaker, if you don't have respect for whoever is speaking, his words will not have any effect on you. So in order for his words to have effect on you, you have to show care and love for that person. You have to truly acknowledge and realize it. Similarly, in Surah Al-Fatiha, when we will read it, inshallah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off by praising. And when we read Surah Al-Fatiha, we start off by a praise. And we say, all praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the universe. So this is something, and this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed Surah Al-Fatiha before all the surahs, before Surah Baqarah, before every single surah. As well as, this is to show gratitude. Now, inshallah, we will start with the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, all praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the universe. Now, we have to understand what universe is. What is the meaning of alam? Now, ulama, scholars, mufassirin have written, alam is a category in which fall each and every single creation. So when we look at humans today, humans fall under alam. When we look at jinns today, jinns fall under alam. When we look at trees today, trees fall under alam. When we see the sun today, sun falls under alam. When we see the moon today, the moon falls under alam. Meaning each and every single creation, it falls under alam. Meaning Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and Alif Lam here in Alhamd means all praise, all glory. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the universe. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of the sun. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of the moon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of the skies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of insan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of animals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of grass. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord of trees. Each and every single creation falls under alam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the universe. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most kind, the most merciful. Malik Yawmiddin. Now, the word Malik has been derived from the word mulk, and which means a person. The word Malik means a person who has control over an object, and he has such control over that object. The person who has control over that object is able to manipulate, change, mold, make any alterations. He can do whatever he wants with this, according to his need. That is the true meaning of Malik. That is the true meaning of a king. A person who has complete control over everything. A person who has complete control over all the objects that he has control over. And he's able to do anything with it. Move it sideways, move it upside down, have it upside down, open it inside out, do anything with it. Yawm Din. Maliki Yawm Din. Now, the word Deen, when we open up the dictionary today, we all know Yawm means day. Deen. So what does Deen mean? Deen does not mean religion. Deen here means compensation. So, meaning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have full control, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has full control of Yawm al-Din, Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day when a person will be compensated for what he has done. Maliki Yawm al-Din, meaning who will have complete control on Yawm al-Qiyamah, who will have complete control on the day when compensation, when rewards will be given. Now, moving forward, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Now, there are two portions here. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ and وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. The first is hamd and thana, saying that, Ya Allah, we only worship you and we will only worship you. This is a hamd and a thana, praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second portion is a dua and a request. إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, meaning, Ya Allah, we only seek your help. Not only do we seek your help in ibadat, but Ya Allah, we seek your help in each and every single aspect of life. So Ya Allah, when we have a test coming up, we seek your help. Ya Allah, not only إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Now ulama writes, mufassirin writes, إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Ya Allah, we need your help. Ya Allah, we seek your help. This does not refer to only salah. Ya Allah, when we are praying salah, إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. This does not refer to as only, and it is not confined only to Hajj. When we are performing Hajj, Ya Allah, we ask for ease. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Ya Allah, we ask for your help, we ask for ease. No. Ulama Mufassirin write each and every single, anything that a person does in life. Before you write your test, before you give sadaqah, and this is one habit that inshallah we need to build, and we should try to build as well. That before we do any action, before we carry out any action, we have to say, Ya Allah, I seek your help. Ya Allah, I seek your help. Before giving sadaqah, Ya Allah, I seek your help. إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Before driving the car, after reciting of course, the dua before traveling, Ya Allah, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Ya Allah, I only worship you, and Ya Allah, I need your help. Ya Allah, I seek your help. Once there's a person at the time of Musa alayhi salam. So every day this person would say, Ya Sanam at'imni. Now this is referring to, I'm not going off topic, this is linked with إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. So every day this person would say, Ya Sanam. Sanam, as we know, for those who know Arabic, Sanam means idol, an idol. So, and the plural is asnam, idols. So this person every single day used to say, Ya Sanam at'imni, meaning, oh Sanam, feed me. Ya Sanam at'imni, Ya Sanam at'imni. And every single day he would do this. Who was a non-believer at that time. So one day his tongue slipped. فَأَخْطَأَ لِسَانُهُ فَقَالَ يَا صَمَدْ أَطْعِمْنِي. Now instead of saying Ya Sanam at'imni, he said Ya Samad, one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him food. So now, upon seeing this, Musa alayhi salam was so shocked. He said, Musa alayhi salam asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He spoke to Allah ta'ala and he said, Ya Allah, why did you give him food? Indeed, it was a slip of the tongue. This person used to say, Ya Sanam at'imni, and he's been saying this for a very long time. It was a slip of the tongue. He said, Ya Samad at'imni. So subhanAllah, Allah Ta'ala replied by saying, O Musa, is there any Samad other than me? Is there any Samad other than me? He called out to my name. For many, many years he was saying, Ya Sanam at'imni, Ya Sanam at'imni, O Sanam feed me. But the day he called out to my name, Ya Samad, meaning myself, how can I not reply? How can I not respond? So this is a lesson, my dear respected brothers and sisters, what we have to take. We have to call on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during every single time. And I would like to back this with a beautiful hadith. As Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said this clearly. Sahih hadith. تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. Remember and acknowledge the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the time of prosperity, at the time of ease. Meaning when everything is going perfect. Everything is going perfect. Alhamdulillah, we have a house, we have a shelter. Alhamdulillah, we have cars today. Alhamdulillah, we have health today. The two eyes we're able to see with these two eyes. تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء. Remember Allah Ta'ala at the time of prosperity, and then what will happen? يعرفك في الشدة. Then you will not need to call out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself will remember you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remember you. And my dear respected brothers and sisters, the bounties, the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, we truly have to realize and acknowledge them. And indeed, we have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today, for instance, if we don't pay our electricity bill, our electricity is cut off. Now, let's say we are renting a place, we're renting an apartment, a house. We don't pay the rent, we're not able to pay the rent. The owner will come and say, sorry, you have to go. You will have to leave. You have to go somewhere else. You have to leave this. Today, we don't pay our hydro bill, our water bill. What happens? The supply is cut off. My dear respected brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us these eyes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us 2 ears to hear with. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us feet to walk with. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a mouth to speak with, a tongue to speak with, a nose to smell with, a brain to think with. So now in return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, oh my people, oh my slaves, I have given you these bounties, and in return I need something. So now in return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not asking us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not said, oh my people, I have given you these 2 eyes. Thereafter, I need you to perform 5 umrahs in your lifetime. Oh my people, I have given you, for those who have feet, for those who are able to walk, I need you to perform Hajj at least 7 times in your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not said anything like this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has only said this. And this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ibn Adam, O son of Adam, جَعَلْتُ لَكَ عَيْنَيْنِ, I have created 2 eyes for you. فَانْظُرْ بِعَيْنَيْكَ مَا أَحْلَلْتُ لَكَ. So see with these 2 eyes what I have made halal for you. So whatever is halal for you, you can see with these 2 eyes. No restrictions. فَإِنْ عَرَضَ مَا حَرَّمْتُ لَكَ. But by chance, or under some circumstance, under some condition, if anything comes in front of you that you are not supposed to look at, and this is finally the bill of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَغْبِطَ عَلَيْهِمَ الْغِطَى. My bill is that if anything haram comes in front of you, anything unlawful comes in front of you that you are not supposed to look at, my bill is, all you have to do is close your eyes. All you have to do is turn away. This is the bill of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my dear respected brothers and sisters, we truly have to realize and acknowledge the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with many, many eyes. With many blessings, not many eyes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with 2 eyes. These 2 eyes that we have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Ya Allah, we only worship you. Now, Imam Ghazali says, Ibadah is not only salah and siyam. So like I mentioned earlier, when we say, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, Ya Allah, I worship you. Ya Allah, I seek your help. Now, when we say إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ, this does not mean, Ya Allah, we only worship you when it comes to salah. Ya Allah, we only worship you when it comes to siyam. No. This is not worship. And it's sad to say that today, when it comes to salah, we are ready to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course. When it comes to siyam, we say, yes, Allah, we are ready to follow your orders. But when Allah ta'ala tells us, and He has clearly told us to not take riba, we tend to back off, take interest. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us not to perform, not to engage yourself in evil, in acts of evil, we engage ourselves in acts of evil. So Imam Ghazali has said something really beautiful. He says, ibadat, worship, meaning إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. is of 10 types. The first type is salah. So when we pray salah, we say, of course, Ya Allah, we worship you. Zakat. By giving zakat, we are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By fasting in the month of Ramadan, we are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it comes to Hajj, performing pilgrimage, when we perform Hajj today, we are doing the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now another form of ibadah is recitation of Quran. When we read Quran today, this is also an ibadah. When we earn halal today, this is to make an effort for earning halal. And this is something that we have to take into consideration. To make an effort for earning halal is also an ibadah in itself, is also a worship. To fulfill the rights of your neighbor and partner, meaning your spouse, this is also an ibadah. Number 9, instructing people to do good and staying away from evil, this is also an ibadah. Last but not least, to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this is also ibadah. Now moving on, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Now from اهدنا الصراط المستقيم all the way until ولا الضالين, this is also another dua and another request. In the beginning portion, we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we say, Ya Allah, ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Ya Allah, we don't know anything ourselves. We need you to take our hands and guide us. This is the true meaning of ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Ya Allah, you guide us. Ya Allah, you take us and you show us the path. Not only, Ya Allah, show us the path, bring us on this path. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Ya Allah, I need you to take my hand. Do not just show me the path. Ya Allah, I need you to take my hand. Thereafter, bring me on this path. This is the meaning of Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Sirat al-ladhina an'amta alayhim. The path of those upon which you have showered your blessings and your favors. غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ. Not the path of those who have invoked your anger. Because of their actions, your anger has befallen on them. Your anger has come to them. And not those who have gone astray, not those who have lost their way. Now, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ refers to humul Yahud, refers to the way of the Jews. وَالضَّالِينَ refers to Nasara, the Christians. Now, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ, these were Jews, these were people who would sacrifice deen for dunya. These were people who would sacrifice deen for dunya and who would ridicule and mock prophets. So the Jews, when prophets were sent to them, now as we all know, just Bani Israel, just the nation of Bani Israel, they had slaughtered many prophets. Not only would they slaughter prophets, not only would they make fun of prophets, not only would they mock them, not only would they ridicule them, but they would kill and slay the prophets as well. Thereafter, they would sacrifice their deen for dunya. Deen for dunya. And as a result, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala became angry with them. Now, when it comes to Wal-Dalin is being referred, the Jews are being referred to Wal-Dalin. Now, these are those people who had little to no knowledge of deen. Now, because of their lack of knowledge and because of their ignorance, they had lost their way. They had forgotten their practices. They forgot their deen. Wal-Dalin, and those who are lost, those who have gone astray. Now, inshallah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, we will move on to Surah Baqarah. Now, Surah Baqarah is a Madani Surah. It has 40 ruku'at, and it has 286 ayahs. 286 ayahs. Now, when we read Surah Baqarah today, it starts off with Alif Lam Mim. Now, ulama al-Mufassirin write The reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed, and no one knows the meaning of Alif Lam Mim, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the meaning of Alif Lam Mim. Ulama and Mufassirin write that all people, all mankind, you do not know anything. Because just imagine you open up a book. The first word that you read, you are not able to understand. You are incapable of understanding. This shows that you have this shows that your knowledge is limited. And this also shows, because this is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this also shows us that by starting off with Alif Lam Mim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, oh people, your knowledge is limited. As for my knowledge is limitless. Now, the reason why this surah is called Al-Baqarah, because this surah mentions the incident that took place in Bani Israel. And inshallah we will do this as well. It mentions the incident that took place in Bani Israel. Now, this surah starts off with basic fundamentals of Islam. It starts off with wahdaniyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It starts off with tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thereafter, the surah also talks about risala, and the surah also talks about akhirah. It also talks about the three types of people. The surah will talk about mu'min, it will talk about kuffar, and it will also talk about munafiqeen. And it also talks about the creation of Adam alayhi salam, as well as it also talks about Jews and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had favored them with many, many blessings, but they turned away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They turned away from these blessings. Now, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us here clearly that this book that you are about to read, it has no doubts. This book right here has no doubts. Hudan lil-muttaqin, hudan meaning hadin, meaning a guidance for those who are muttaqin. Now, who are muttaqin? Thereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala briefly explains and gives the qualities of those who are muttaqin, who are God-fearing. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Meaning those people who believe, and this is Iman. This is the true meaning of Iman, to believe in the unseen. Now, as we all know, we are not able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are so many things. We are not able to see angels. We're not able to see angels, the angel on our right. We're not able to see the angel on our left. Now, this is Iman. This is the true meaning of belief. To believe in something, to believe in the unseen. And this is the quality of a mu'min, to believe in the unseen. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ, they believe in the unseen. وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ, they establish salah. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ, and they spend from what we have given them. Now, this also shows us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also giving us a lesson here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, oh people, oh my slaves, whatever you have earned in this life, it is not your earning. We have given it to you. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ, what we have given them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not say spend what you have earned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that spend from what we have given you. Meaning, and this is a lesson that we, each and every single person, should understand, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who provides us with everything, who provides us with good, who provides us with health, who provides us with wealth. Now moving on, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. And thereafter, furthermore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving their qualities, those people who also believe in the akhirah. Now this is how the surah starts. Now, thereafter, Allah ta'ala says, أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَىٰ هُدًى مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. These are the people who are on the straight path. These are the people who are on the straight path, who are guided, completely guided, fully guided from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And like I mentioned earlier, in the beginning of the surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk about the qualities of a mu'min. Thereafter, moving on from إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ all the way until عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. So إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ وَعَلَى أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةٌ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. Now, from إِنَّ الَّذِينَ all the way until عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to kuffar. Now they were those kuffar who said, no matter what happens, we will not embrace Islam. And as Abdullah ibn Abbas anhu also says, these were people who were firm on kufr. Now, in spite of seeing clear and evident and apparent signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in spite of seeing clear and evident signs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam being a true prophet, they chose not to believe. And they were firm on their error, and they were firm on their belief. Thereafter, خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed a seal on their hearts, وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ, and on their hearing, on their ears, وَعَلَى أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةً, and they were not able to see. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala covered their eyes. Meaning, by this does not mean that Allah, now we can't take this literally, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a curtain over their eyes. This means they were not able to see the truth. They were not able to accept the truth. And ulama also write that because of their pride, their pride was the only barrier that stood between them and accepting Islam. That was their only barrier. That was the only thing in the middle, their pride. Because of their pride, and they were not able to accept Islam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed a seal over their hearts. Now, this had a negative impact on the kuffar now. There were some kuffar, they wanted to embrace Islam. They wanted to embrace, and this impact they have, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says himself, وَمَا ظَلَمَهُمُ اللَّهُ. It is not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who oppresses people. وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. People today, they oppress themselves. So there were people at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, kuffar, at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who wished they could embrace Islam. They could embrace Islam, but since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had put a seal over their hearts, no matter how hard they tried, they could not embrace Islam. Now, there are a few lessons that we can take from this ayah as well. The lesson that we can take from this ayah, and the lesson that ulama write as well, is that a person should not be staunch. A person should not be firm on his error. If a person is doing something wrong, a person should not be firm on this. Even though he knows he has the capability of doing something right. Even though he knows what the other person is saying, he is telling me the truth, but then again he denies it, and he stays firm on it. On one occasion, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saw a person eating with his left hand. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to him, "Kul bi yaminik." O person, eat with your right hand. So now this person, even though he had the power, he had the capability of eating with his right hand, but he was eating with his left hand. But because of his pride, he said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, "La astati'u." Ya Rasulullah, I'm not able to raise my right hand. Thereafter, what happened was, until this person passed away, until his last breath, this person who said La astati'u, he was not able to raise his right hand. He was not able to raise his right hand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the power away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the ability away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the nerves away. Thereafter, this person was not able to raise his right hand. And all of this happened because he was firm on his error. So this is something that we have to take care of. Now, moving on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thereafter speaks of people who are, this surah started off with mu'min. Thereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of kuffar. Inna alladhina, all the way until adabun azim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing kuffar. Now from here, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ, all the way until Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir, all the way until the ruku ends, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about munafiqeen. Now we have to understand what a munafiq is. Now today when we read the hadith, and many of us may know this as well, ayatul munafiqi thalath. The signs of a hypocrite are three. إِذَا حَدَّثَ كَذَبَ, when he speaks, he lies. وَإِذَا وَعَدَ أَخْلَفَ, when he makes a promise, he breaks it. وَإِذَا أَتُمِنَ خَانَ, when he is entrusted, he breaks it. Now we have to understand, my dear respected brothers, a person who has these qualities, and truly this person May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also forgive us. These are bad qualities. We should not have these qualities. It is not befit a moment to have these qualities. These qualities, if a person has these qualities, a person will not be called a munafiq. You can say this person has the qualities of a munafiq, but he's not a true munafiq. Because the true munafiqeen were only present at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And these were the true munafiqeen. Because a munafiq is a person who truly wants to harm Islam. Now these are qualities, bad qualities, for instance, إِذَا حَدَّثَ كَذَبَ. And my dear respected brothers and sisters, this is something that needs to be addressed. Today, a lot of people, they are engaged in lying. Anything small may happen, they tend to lie. Why didn't you do your work? Because this happened, because that happened. And it's clear in hadith, al-kidhbu yuhlik. Lying will only destroy us. وَالصِّدْقُ يُنْجِي. The thing about lying is when a person lies, he has to back it up with another lie. He has to back it up with another lie. But when a person tells the truth, everything is clear. For instance, a child did not do his work. Now the teacher asks the child, or the boss may ask his employee, why didn't you come yesterday? Or for instance, why didn't you have your assignment done? Why didn't you do your work on time? Now the person may say, I didn't do my work because I did not have time. Now this is a lie that he's lying. He did have time, but he was too lazy. I did not have time. Thereafter, to cover this lie, he will come up with many other lies. He will say, I did not have time because I have to take care of my children. Another lie. I had to take my children to the hospital because another lie. I had to take him to the hospital because he had a headache. So do we get this? Headache, lying after lying after lying. And this, my dear respected brothers, this is something that is very serious, and we truly have to take care of this. Now, even when we tell jokes, it is not suitable for us, it is not befitting for us to tell a lie. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as we know, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to joke as well. But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam always, even in his joke, he said the truth. He approached Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who was an old lady. Ya Rasulullah, will old people, referring to herself, will old people go to Jannah as well? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam smiled and said, no, old people will not go to Jannah, only young people will go to Jannah. Now Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not lie. So now this lady was worried that she's not able to go to Jannah, she will not be able to go to Jannah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, every single person in Jannah will be young. Every single person will be at the age of 33. So no old person will go to Jannah. Every single person in Jannah, when we will be in Jannah, we will be young. So this is the joke that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made. And in this joke, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said the truth. Now moving on to the qualities of a munafiq. Moving on to who the munafiqeen were. So these were people who وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Now these were the people who said, when they were with Muslims, Ya Allah, we believe in everything. Ya Rasulullah, we believe in everything. We believe in Akhirah, we believe in the angels. But in their hearts, they truly did not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They did not believe in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They did not believe in the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They only had hatred for Islam. And these people, they thought they were really smart. يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They thought they could, by saying they believe, they could deceive others. They could deceive Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they can deceive those people who believed. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. These people who claim to be Muslims today, they are not deceiving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, they are only deceiving themselves. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now these people were such that when they were with Muslims, they would truly support them. They would say, we are with you, we believe in you. وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا. So when they were with Muslims, they used to say, we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we believe in messengers. But وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَىٰ شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ. But then when they will go back to, let's say for instance, Jews, these so-called Muslims, they were munafiqeen when they would be with their leaders. Shayatinihim here is referring to as their leaders. When they would go to their leaders, they would say, no, we are not Muslims, we're with you. We don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. we believe in the religion of our forefathers. And these were the people, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الضَّلَالَةَ بِالْهُدَى. These were the people who sold their deen for dunya as well. And فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ. These were the people who, when they made their business, when they made their transaction by selling deen, by making fun of deen, by ridiculing deen, by mocking deen, by playing with deen, the transaction, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, did not have any barakah. This transaction that these people made did not help them at all. Now, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us an example. And he says a beautiful example as well. He says, مَثَلُهُمْ كَمَثَلِ الَّذِي اسْتَوْقَدَ نَارًا. Now this person, the example of these people are such that a person, he lights a fire. Now, when he's able to see around him, thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes this fire, he snatches this fire away, and these people are left in darkness. They're not able to see. Now, ulama and mufassirin write, when they were in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had shown them, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had shown them clear and evident signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah, evident signs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, apparent signs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam being a prophet. But then they denied it. So when they will pass away, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take this light away. And we have to understand that the more pious a person is in this life, the brighter his light will be on Yawm al-Qiyamah. And as the mujrimeen, as the criminals, as the munafiqeen, as the kuffar on Yawm al-Qiyamah would say, and it will be said to them, they would seek light, because Qiyamah will be very dark. There will be darkness on Yawm al-Qiyamah. And now they are not able to see. And we all know there will not be any torches, no fire. So they will seek light from mu'mineen, from believers. But it will be said to them, قِيلَ ارْجِعُوا وَرَاءَكُمْ فَالْتَمِسُوا نُورًا. It will be said to them, sorry, we will not give you our light. You have to go back, you have to go and earn your light. And as we all know, they will not be able to do so. So from وَمِنَ النَّاسِ all the way until إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of munafiqeen, and he speaks of their qualities, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also given us an example. Now, from يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ اعْبُدُوا رَبَّكُمُ الَّذِي all the way until وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. These two ayahs talk about the fundamentals of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly telling the kuffar of Makkah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling mankind, O people, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ اعْبُدُوا رَبَّكُمُ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ. Now this is one belief, that we have to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only creator. This is the first belief. And the second belief is فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Do not associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while you are aware, whilst you know. The kuffar of Makkah, what they used to say and what they used to do, they used to say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indeed has power over everything, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed idols to carry out his task. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they would say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed idols, and they used to say the idols hold the same responsibility as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and na'udhu they used to associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they used to say the vegetation, whatever we find, the trees, it is all a creation of the idols. So to nullify this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, الَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created you. Not only has he created you, he has also created the nations before you. Thereafter, فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Thereafter, recognizing and realizing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has indeed created everything, do not associate any partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا all the way until أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here has set a challenge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has openly challenged mankind by saying, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ. Now the kuffar of Makkah, the munafiqeen, few munafiqeen, they used to say that إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا قَوْلُ الْبَشَرِ, that this is only the word of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The words of Quran, the words, whatever is written inside the Quran, these are not the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that if these are my words, and if you think you can come up with something better than this, you are to come up with something better than this. Now, as we all know, Kuffar of Makkah, they were great poets, and poetry was very famous at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, there were people, and inshallah, this incident we'll mention later on, there were many people who tried to challenge the Quran. But when each and every single person, whenever someone tried to challenge the Quran, let alone, now this person, there was one person who tried to challenge the Quran. Now he wrote his own scripture, he wrote his own poetry. For 1 year he was writing his poetry. Now as he was going, he heard one ayah. Just by hearing this one ayah, he embraced Islam. So his colleagues, his mates asked him, we had given you a year to go against Quran. He said, you asked me to go against Quran. How can I go against Quran when I have been defeated by one ayah? So let alone challenge the entire Quran, let alone challenge a juz, let alone challenge a surah. I have been defeated by one verse of the Quran. So this is the challenge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put up for them. Thereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions from وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا all the way until خَالِدُونَ. So وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ كُلَّمَا رُزِقُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ ثَمَرَةٍ رِزْقًا قَالُوا هَذَا الَّذِي رُزِقْنَا مِنْ قَبْلُ وَأُتُوا بِهِ مُتَشَابِهًا وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us a description of those, and He is giving us a slight description of Jannah, and the reward of those people who will believe, or those people who have done acts of piety, or those people who have done acts of righteousness in this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam directly, وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, Ya Rasulullah, you tell these people, you give these people glad tidings. You give them glad tidings that for them will be Jannah, for them will be rivers in Jannah, and not only this, for them will be fruits in Jannah. Now, the people of Jannah, when they will see these fruits, they will say, these are the same fruits what we received in dunya. And they will be similar, mutashabiha. They will be similar. Now, mind you, my dear respected brothers, the food that we eat here today. For instance, we take a bite out of a banana. The first bite that we take will have a good taste. The second bite that we take, it is not as if the second bite will be better than the first. The second bite will taste the same as the first. The third bite we take will taste the same as first. When we eat an apple today, the first bite we take, it will taste good. The second bite we take today, it will taste the same as the first bite. The third will taste the same as first. The fifth, the sixth will taste the same as the first. It is not like there's a change in taste. But subhanAllah, in Jannah, when we will eat fruits in Jannah, when we will eat something in Jannah, we will take a bite out of an apple, for instance, or out of a pomegranate. The first bite will be, and there will be a big difference between the taste of this world and the taste that we will experience, inshallah, in Jannah. The first bite will be amazing. Now, when the person will take a second bite, the second bite will be better than the first. He will take a third bite. Now the third bite will be better than the second. He will take a fourth bite. Now the fourth will be better than the third. The fifth will be better than the fourth. The sixth will be better than the fifth. And this is also a great blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that our taste, the taste buds will only increase. The taste will only get better and better and better. And subhanAllah, this is a blessing that we will, inshallah, we will receive in Jannah. Now, also, in Jannah, we will only eat for pleasure. For instance, in this world, when we eat chocolate, I've never seen a person we don't eat chocolate to satiate ourselves. We don't eat chocolate to fill our stomachs up. I've never, honestly, if you may know someone, you can tell me, I've never seen a person who says, today I'm going to have Ferrero Rocher for lunch. Today I will only have Kit Kat for dinner. We only have Kit Kat, we only have Oh Henry, we only have all these chocolate bars for luxury, for pleasure. In Jannah, we will not need to, there will not be any need to satiate ourselves. In Jannah, we will only eat for pleasure. Now, moving on, Inna Allah la yastahi, all the way until illa al-fasiqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing those who have mocked, who have ridiculed, who have made fun of the examples of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thereafter, to clarify this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we read Quran today, we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us many examples. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us an example of a spider. When we read Quran today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an example of a dhubab, a fly. When we read Quran today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an example of a mosquito. Now the kuffar, the munafiqeen, they said, this is not the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because indeed if it was the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have used a better example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had because look, they said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so great. What is the need? Why is there a need for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to use a mosquito? Why is there a need for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to use an example of a spider? So to clarify everything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Inna Allah la yastahi. O people, O kuffar, do not worry, Allah ta'ala is not shy of giving such examples. And not only this, مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها. If the need, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala felt the need that another example had been given, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had been given, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given that example, would have given that example. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the example of a mosquito. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if I have to use something smaller than a mosquito, O kuffar and O munafiqeen, you know what, I will use an example smaller than a mosquito as well. Now, فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ. Now, as for those people who believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they truly know that indeed that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, what knowledge we can extract. Through these examples, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala misguides people. Through these examples, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides people. وَمَا يُضِلُّ بِهِ إِلَّا الْفَاسِقِينَ. And only those people are misguided who are disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are disobedient to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, reading from الَّذِينَ يَنْقُضُونَ عَهْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مِيثَاقِهِ all the way until هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing kuffar here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala three things here. And these three things have been done by kuffar. الَّذِينَ يَنْقُضُونَ عَهْدَ اللَّهِ. They broke the covenant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, what is this covenant that they broke? This ulama and mufassirin, right? This is the covenant of Alastu bi Rabbikum. And inshallah, details of which we will do further on. Alastu bi Rabbikum. Just a short, brief explanation of what the covenant of Alastu bi Rabbikum is. That when all the souls were present at Alam al-Arwah. Now this is a station where all the souls and all the spirits were kept. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked, Alastu bi Rabbikum. Now I'm only shortening this. Alastu bi Rabbikum. Am I not your Lord? So each and every single soul, each and every single spirit said, Bala. Bala means yes, Ya Allah, indeed, definitely. They did not say Na'am. Now, Na'am means yes. Na'am, you can have doubts. There are a few words in Arabic that mean yes. Na'am means yes, Ajal means yes, and Bara means yes. Now, Na'am, when a person says yes, there can be doubts. When a person says Ajal, Ajal also means yes, there can be doubts. But when a person says Bara, there are no doubts. So each and every single spirit said, Bara, indeed, Ya Allah, you are our Lord. But when they came to this earth, they disbelieved in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They believed in other creations, and they associated partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is one thing that they had done. The second thing they had done was they cut their ties. They cut their family ties. The third thing that they had done was they spread corruption on the face of this earth. And Allah Ta'ala further says, أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. These are the people who are losers. The khasirun, the true meaning, the exact meaning of a khasir, a person who has lost everything. Meaning a person who has not gained anything in this life, and a person who will not gain anything in the hereafter. That is the true meaning of khasirun, and you can take this meaning an ultimate loser, not a loser, because a person, there are some kuffar, there are some non-Muslims, Allah Ta'ala has blessed them in this world. So they are not completely losers because they have gained something in this world. In the akhirah, there will not be any portion. Allah Ta'ala will not give them any portion. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will not give them anything in the hereafter. But there are people in this life, in this world, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has not blessed them with anything. And since they are not believers, since they are not Muslims, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will not give them anything in the hereafter. And this is the true meaning of Ulaika humul khasirun. They will be true losers. They will be the true ones. They will be the ones who have lost everything. Now, from كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا all the way until وهو بكل شيء عليم, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is asking the kuffar. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is addressing the kuffar, and He is asking them and questioning them, كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أموات. How can you disbelieve in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala when you were nothing? Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is telling us here, فَأَحْيَاكُمْ ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ, that you were nothing, I taught you everything. Oh my people, it is me, the one I have given you 2 eyes to see with. I have given you this life that you are living. I have given you 2 ears to hear with. The food that you are eating, I have given you this mouth to eat with. Had it not been for myself, had it not been for my power, had it not been for my ability, you could not chew your food. I have done everything for you, bounties upon bounties. I have given you rain. I have given you plantation. I have given you vegetation. I have provided you with meat. Bounties that you have to realize. How can you turn away from this? So this is what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is asking and questioning the kuffar. Now, from وَإِذْ قُلْنَا رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا وَإِذْ قُلْنَا رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً, all the way until هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. So, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قَالُوا أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ, all the way until قُلْ نَهْبِطُوا مِنْهَا جَمِيعًا فإما يأتينكم مني هدى فمن تبع هداي فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون والذين كفروا وكذبوا بآياتنا أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. If you have your Quran open, you can have a look at this. Now, in this, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is talking about and addressing the incident that took place between Adam alayhi salam as well as Shaitan. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, in this we will also find the creation of Adam alayhi salam, how Adam alayhi salam came into existence. So firstly, when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala decided to create Adam alayhi salam, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ, when he decided to create Adam alayhi salam, Allah Ta'ala asked his angels, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Now as we all know, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is not in need of any person's or any angels or any humans' opinion or suggestion. But just to see what their opinion was, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala asked his angels, لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً, I'm about to create an ambassador. I'm about to place my ambassador on the face of this earth. So now, in return, قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء. Now this is their opinion. They said, Ya Allah, are you going to create someone, meaning insan, and angels knew the qualities of insan. And it has Mufassirin and ulama have written, before the creation of insan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created jinnat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created jinn. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed them on earth. Now these jinns, they spread corruption, they fought with one another, they killed one another, they spread bloodshed, and they spread corruption. So the angel said, Ya Allah, these humans are the same as jinn. They will do the same thing. Ya Allah, are you going to create someone who will spread corruption? They will spread bloodshed. Now, ulama al-Mufassirin write, the malaika here are showing that they are more deserving of praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than human beings. By saying, وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ, Ya Allah, there is no need for you to create insan. We are the ones, Ya Allah, we are the ones to glorify you. Ya Allah, we are the ones who will magnify you. Ya Allah, we will worship you. So thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. O angels, I know what you don't know. Thereafter, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Thereafter, now I will not read each and every single ayah, we will just have a quick and brief explanation, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salam, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salam asma. Now, this ulama al-Mufassirin write that these are not names. These were actually conditions. How a person feels when he's hungry. How a person feels, different qualities as well. For instance, a group of people will have these qualities. A group of people who are from this country, they will have these qualities. Different qualities, different situations, and different circumstances. But a human being, different feelings as well. This snake has this venom. This scorpion has this venom. His is more detrimental to your health. And all of these conditions, this is what Mufassirin and ulama have written. Now, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the malaika to name these conditions, to name what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Adam alayhi salam, the malaika failed. They were not able to do so. As they said, قَالُوا سُبْحَانَكَ لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا إِلَّا مَا عَلَّمْتَنَا. Ya Allah, we do not know. We only know what you have taught us. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Adam alayhi salam, أَنْبِئْهُمْ بِأَسْمَائِهِمْ, to name everything, to name all the conditions, to name whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salam, فَلَمَّا أَنْبَأَهُمْ بِأَسْمَائِهِمْ, Adam alayhi salam was able to do so. Thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَلَمْ أَقُلْ لَكُمْ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ غَيْبَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَأَعْلَمُ مَا تُبْدُونَ وَمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْتُمُونَ. Thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, did I not tell you I know what you don't know? Now after this incident, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, remember this incident. Now the meaning وَإِذْ means remember. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. Remember the incident when we said to malaika, when we said to the angels, prostrate, do sajda to Adam alayhi salam, فَسَجَدُوا. Now in the Quran we will also find كُلُّهُمْ. Here we see فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. Illa means except. So all of them, all the angels, they obliged, all of them followed the order, the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except for one person, and he was none other than Iblis. Now inshallah, the full incident we will do in Surah Araf and inshallah in Surah Taha as well. أَبَا وَاسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. Shaitan had pride, and he denied, and he had pride, and he became amongst the disbelievers. Now just a very brief incident, what Shaitan said and what the reply of Shaitan was. Shaitan said, how can I do sajda to Adam alayhi salam? Ya Allah, خَلَقْتَنِي مِن نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِن طِينٍ. Ya Allah, you created me from fire and you've created him from dirt. أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِنْ. Ya Allah, I'm better than him. How can I do sajda to him? So this was the reason and why he denied. About he had pride, he denied, he had pride, and he became amongst those who disbelieve. Now, ulama writes, there are two things that we have to learn from here. There are two lessons that we have to extract And there are two lessons that we can find and we have to apply into our lives. And these are very important lessons. The first lesson is to not show pride. We should not have pride, because pride is something that truly destroys us. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Al-kibru ridai. Indeed, kibr, pride, is my cloak. So whoever tries to snatch this away from me, I will punish him. Meaning that in this life, no matter what we do, we should not show pride. Because pride, one thing we have to understand, it is befitting a person to have pride once he has achieved something, once he has acquired something. Now, my dear respected brothers and sisters, anything and everything we do, we have not achieved this ourselves. We have achieved this through the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Had it not been for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help, we would not have achieved it. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, as mentioned earlier, spend from وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ. Spend from what we have given you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only being who is deserving of pride is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, pride belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has achieved everything. Now, the second lesson we can take from this is to follow those clear and evident orders that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said to us. Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said to us, it is upon us to strictly go and follow them. Now, my dear respected brothers, it's a small story I'd like to mention about pride. Once Isa alayhi salam was on a journey and he was walking with his hawari. And as we know, when we read the Quran today, Man ansari ila Allah, who are going to be my helpers? قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله. So Hawariyun are the people, the companions of Isa alayhi salam. So now, as the companions of Isa alayhi salam, when they were walking, there was a robber. There was a thief who had done tawbah. Now this thief also joined the group of Hawari, the group of the companions of Isa alayhi salam. So one Hawari looked at him. He just made a sound. He grunted, and he made a sound, meaning saying that, who is he? Who is this thief to join us? He, in his heart, said, I am better than him. And this is that slight. Although he did not say anything, but this is what he had in his heart. He said, I am better than him. Who is this person joining our company, our elite company? So right away, Jibreel alayhi salam descended. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed Jibreel alayhi salam. And Jibreel alayhi salam said to Isa alayhi salam, he said, Ya Isa, Isa alayhi salam, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, there are two people behind you. There are two Hawari behind you. As for the first person, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forgiven all his sins, all his previous sins. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you to tell this person to start his life, to start a new life. And as for the old Hawari, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you to tell him to start his life again, because whatever good he had done in his life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala erased it. Now just imagine, just by having pride, not by saying anything, just by having an expression of pride, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala erased all his good deeds. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to him, start your new life. So these are the two lessons that, my dear respected brothers, we have to take into consideration, and this is the lesson that we have to apply into our lives. Now, moving on, thereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Adam alayhi salam and the wife of Adam alayhi salam, وَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ وَكُلُوا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Adam alayhi salam and the wife of Adam, Hawa, that now you are to live in Jannah. In Jannah, you can enjoy everything. Enjoy all the bounties, all the blessings of Jannah. وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. I will only tell you one thing, only one instruction, and this is the only instruction, this is the only command that you have to follow. وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ. Do not go near this tree. Now, there are a few narrations, there are a few rawaya that say this was a grape tree, this was a fig tree, this was another tree. Now, there is no solid and authentic hadith saying that this was a fig tree or this is a grape tree. So we don't know. So, and ulama and mufassirin say this is something that Muslims today do not have to delve into. They don't have to worry about which tree it was. So after seeing all the blessings of Jannah, after seeing the bounties of Jannah, Shaitan فوسوس إليه الشيطان قال يا آدم هل أدلك على شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. Shaitan went to Adam al-Islam and he said to Adam al-Islam, after Adam al-Islam was now enjoying the blessings of Jannah, and Adam al-Islam wanting to live in Jannah forever and ever. So Shaitan went to Adam al-Islam and said, shall I tell you something? So Adam al-Islam said, yes, what could this be? هل أدلك على شجرة الخلد. Shall I tell you of a tree? If you were to eat from this tree, you will live forever and ever and ever. An everlasting tree, an everlasting fruit. وَمُلْكٍ لَا يَبْلَى. And such a kingdom, such a domain that will never end. That will never end. So Adam alayhi salam, so Shaitan pointed towards this tree, and as a result, Adam alayhi salam ate from this tree. Now when Adam alayhi salam ate from this tree, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala فَأَزَلَّهُمَ الشَّيْطَانُ عَنْهَا فَأَخْرَجَهُمَا مِمَّا كَانَ فِيهِ. Now after eating from this tree, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took Adam alayhi salam and the wife of Adam alayhi salam, and they were brought to earth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them, now you live here, now you stay here. Now فَتَلَقَّى آدَمُ مِنْ رَبِّهِ كَلِمَاتٍ فَتَابَ عَلَيْهِ. Now, for a very long time, Adam alayhi salam kept on calling on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, kept on calling on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until he made a dua. Now, this dua, if there's any brother or any sister who knows this dua, if they can kindly unmute themselves and say this dua. So is there anyone who would like to, all you have to do is press *6 and inshallah you will be part of the conversation. Everyone will be able to hear you. SubhanAllah, it's either the brothers and sisters don't know this, or either they're having some difficulty pressing and 6. So no worries, inshallah. The dua that Adam alayhi salam made was رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا وَإِن لَمْ تَغْفِرْ لَنَا وَتَرْحَمْنَا لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Now this dua is in this ayah is in Surah A'raf, ayah number 23. And as a result, and in another narration we find that when Adam alayhi salam was being created, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he was in the process, Adam alayhi salam, he looked at the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There he found the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There he found the name of Muhammad. So Adam alayhi salam said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Ya Allah, forgive me through the wasila of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Adam alayhi salam, a thought crossed his mind that, I saw the name Muhammad right next to the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So of course, seeing a name next to the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so I said to myself, this person must be superior. This must be a great person. So that's why I said his name. And this was what Adam alayhi salam said as well. Now starting from Ya Bani Israel. Starting from Ya Bani Israel, اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت عليكم. And moving forward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about Bani Israel and the bounties of Bani Israel. And in this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in these few ayahs, in these few rukus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also read about the cow, the incident of the cow, and the incident of Samiri. So, inshallah, this we will do tomorrow, inshallah, for sure. Our goal for tomorrow, inshallah, is to finish the juz. So tomorrow, inshallah, we will read from Ya Bani Israel, اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت عليكم, all the way until the last ayah of the first juz, being تلك أمة قد خلت لها ما كسبت ولكم ما كسبتم ولا تسألون عما كانوا يعملون. Until here, inshallah. Now, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me, to forgive those if I had made any mistake. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to have love for Quran as well. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enable us to have love for Deen, to have love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have love for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and to truly have love for Quran. Now, one small thing I missed in the beginning, and this is very important, my dear respected brothers and sisters, when we read the Quran today, Quran is the most eloquent language on the face of this earth. Today, when we read Quran today, we have to make sure when we are reading Quran, we have to apply tajweed. We have to apply, if it's a ha, we have to recite it with a ha. If it's a ha, we have to recite it with a ha. We have to be careful of whether we are reading a kasra, whether we're reading a dhamma, whether we're reading it with a fatha. Now, in the beginning ayah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Now, as we all know, Alhamd, when we say it with a ha, when you say it with a big ha, and as we know, ha is of two types, a big ha and a small ha. When we say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, it means all praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the universe. Now, na'udhu billah, a person who is not focusing too much on his tajweed, a person says Alhamdu, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Na'udhu billah, Alhamd in Arabic means, Hamd in Arabic means destruction, which means all destruction is for na'udhu billah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And furthermore, when we recite the four quls, قل يا أيها الكافرون قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس, the letter is qaf, it is not a kaf. See, this is Arabic. Arabic is very eloquent. If we change the letter qaf to a kaf, for example, in قل هو الله أحد, now Allah is directly ordering Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that tell people Allahu Ahad, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is singular. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one. Now, for example, for instance, a person says kul with a small kaf. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to tell people, to tell the Muslims, to address each thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one, which does not make any sense. And furthermore, now as we know, when we read Quran today in Surah Baqarah, I believe, وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودُ جَالُوتَ, which means Dawood alayhi salam killed Jalut, Goliath in English. Now this is something, and I've heard this before, people are not taking care of this. People recite وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودَ جَالُوتُ. Now when you change a fatha to a dhamma to a fatha, وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودُ جَالُوتَ means Dawood alayhi salam killed Jalut. If you change it to وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودَ جَالُوتُ, which means Jalut, na'udhu billah, killed Dawood alayhi salam. And this is a mistake when a person is reading salah. When a person makes this mistake, his salah is broken. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enable us to learn tajweed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enable us to have care for deen, to have care for Quran, to also have care for what has been said as well. Now, before I end off, just for a few minutes, perhaps 4 or 5 minutes, if any brother or if any sister has any question or any suggestion or any opinion, you are free to share your thoughts. All you have to do is press *6, and inshallah you will be unmuted, and inshallah all the participants will be able to hear you. Now, if the question is in my knowledge, inshallah I will answer it. If it's not in my knowledge, inshallah I will save it for later and I will answer it tomorrow.
All participants are muted. All participants are muted. Participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
So no problem, inshallah. I guess there are no questions. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll talk about Bani Israel, and inshallah tomorrow our objective and our goal is to finish the entire first juz. and inshallah to extract whatever is needed. جزاك الله خيرا for your time. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
This session is no longer being recorded.